What is good and welcome back to Chatwin Reacts, and today we're going to be checking out how does the NBA work. Now, I know a bit about basketball. You know, we've checked some videos out here on the channel, but all my knowledge really is just coming from the videos and highlights we've done, compilation videos. So hopefully this video might give me a bit more understanding of actually how the organization works. I'm hoping I've clicked the right video for that, because these are also videos I'm interested in doing. Let me know if there's any other videos like this you want me to check out down below, and of course let me know any individual NBA players you want me to be checking out as well, because every day we are checking out players from the NBA, NFL and MLB. Let's go. Shit intro again.
What's up, Hoops fans? The Snowman here, and today I've got a basketball instructional video talking about all things NBA. We're going to go over the format, the teams, the schedule. That includes preseason, regular season, all-star break, play-in tournament, of course, the NBA playoffs. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, but let's get you set up for the new NBA season. We'll start off with some basic
Teach me, my friend.
The teams. There are 30 active NBA franchises. That's the way it's been since 2004. 30 teams all across the United States and one in Canada. We split those 30 teams up into two separate conferences, the East and the West. Those conferences loosely based off geography.
So I will be pausing it to kind of just read things and look. But, okay. Do you think as well, I'm going to ask questions, and if you could let me know in the comments, that'd be great. But do you think they'll expand maybe? Will there be like maybe a 32 teams at one point? Well, what do you think is going to happen? Like, or is it just going to stay at 30 going forward? But
predominantly East Coast teams in the East.
But I see what
teams in the West. Within both conferences, we also split the teams up into 3 divisions of 5 teams each. So in the Eastern Conference, we have the Atlantic Division, the Central, and the Southeast. And in the Western Conference, our 3 divisions are the Southwest, Northwest, and the Pacific. That's how the 30 franchises are organized. We'll come back to that when we talk about standings and playoff seeding. In terms of the big picture schedule, the NBA season typically lasts from October to the following June. Yes, we have the draft and free agency over the summer. That's the off season, but early October is typically when you have training camp and preseason, where teams come together and prepare for the upcoming year. The regular season usually tips off in late October, and that goes all the way to mid-April, so about 6 months of regular season basketball with a week-long hiatus in February for the All-Star break. Then in April, we have the relative...
Not really much time off, is there, really? Only 2-3 months.
Teams advance into the playoffs, which last about 2 months long. The NBA Finals typically conclude in mid-June when the 2 best teams duke it out. We have just 1 team left standing as our NBA champs. Let's talk about some specifics regarding the regular season format now. At the moment, each team plays an 82-game schedule in the regular season. There have been talks about reducing that number, but for now it remains 82, and we arrive at those 82 games because every team plays the other 4 teams in their division 4 times each for a total of 16 games. They also play the other 10 teams in their conference 3 or 4 times each for a total of 36 games. And then they also play the 15 teams in the opposite conference twice, once at home, once on the road.
So do these, obviously they split, obviously there's so many different splits, but the main 2 splits, where I showed on that map earlier, red and blue, do they not play each other? Because that would be quite boring if they just never played each other. That would be really bloody boring. I just say he might tell me, but
total of 30 games, so 16 division games plus 36 other conference games plus 30 non-conference games. That equals 82. And here's an example of the standings from the 2020.
Maybe that's what the non-conference games are.
Played less than the usual 82 because of a COVID-shortened season, but this is important because only 16 teams qualify for the playoffs each season, 8 from the Eastern Conference and 8 from the West. How this works is that the top 6 teams in each conference get in automatically. So, for example, in the East, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, the New York Knicks, Atlanta, and Miami all got into the playoffs thanks to their superior win-loss records. The teams in spots 7 through 10 are the 4 teams that compete in the play-in tournament, which we'll explain in just a sec. And then the teams located from 11 to 15 are eliminated from postseason contention. So looking at the...
See, you have an opportunity to win the whole thing, even being the 10th best team in your league. So the Heat, where did they... Because I was always told, like, when we started doing a couple of these NBA videos, that the Heat was shit. A rubbish team. Yet they got into the finals. So where did they finish out of the top 10 kind of teams, did they have to do the play-in tournament? Like,
The West teams.
because I was surprised to see them in the finals. The amount of like disrespect you guys were giving them about them in my DMs on Instagram.
The only saving grace for those teams is that the worse your record is, usually you get a better draft pick the following season. That's why you'll hear the.
I just want to see where the Mavericks finished. Fifth, okay.
Tank.
That's the team I'm going to be following.
Teams to lose late in the season to accumulate better draft capital. In terms of the play-in tournament, it's a pretty straightforward setup. There's 6 games total, 3 for each conference. In both the East and West, you have the 7 seed and the 8 seed play. Whoever wins that game moves on to the playoffs. They'll play the 2 seed in the first round. We also have the 9 and 10 seed play. Whoever loses that game is eliminated. The winner moves on to play the loser of the 7-8 matchup. And then
so I can see, yeah, the better you do, the worse of a team you play when you get into the actual playoffs. So the first will play the worst. Okay, that is fair. That's kind of like your incentive to try and be the best.
As far as the playoffs are concerned, this is the most fun time of the year, in my opinion. We have our 16 teams, and they've got to win 4 rounds to be crowned champion. That's how long the playoffs last. Each round takes about 2 weeks, so it's a 2-month process in total. Unlike the NFL or March Madness, the NBA playoffs are not single elimination. Instead, all rounds are best of 7 series. In other words, the first team to win 4 separate games advances to the next round. So some series take all 7 games. Other series are shorter. They can be 4, 5, or 6 games.
Is that something you reckon they'll reduce?
They have the home court advantage.
That's quite a lot,
so
isn't
they'll
it?
get to play at home for 4 of the 7 games. Only have to go on the road for 3. We repeat this process for 4 rounds, though. First round where all 16 teams compete. Then the second round are conference.
So yeah, as I said, do you think they'll reduce that 7? I mean, there's probably been gone around from years and years and years, but that's 7, 14. You could end up playing 28 games just in the playoffs. So
the third round is the conference finals. That's the 2 best teams in each conference. And finally, we whittle our way down to the last 2 teams. They clash in the NBA Finals to determine the kings of the league. Also, just one other note about the NBA. There's not really a large minor league system like with Major League Baseball. There's no system of promotion and relegation like you see in most association football leagues across the globe. However, they do have one developmental basketball league below them called the NBA G League. It's still relatively small at this point. The G League was only founded back in 2001, but there are minor league affiliates for most of the NBA franchises within the G League. So that's one path that basketball players may take. They can start out in the G League, play well enough to get promoted to an NBA roster. However, most of the time, most players in the NBA come from the college ranks. They play in the NCAA, then they get drafted and or signed from an NBA team straight out of college. All right, and as always, thank you so much for...
Well, I appreciate your knowledge and you dropping your knowledge on me. And I can see another video he's got that I'm definitely going to be checking out soon. The basketball positions explained. Because to me, it looks like when I'm watching them, they're just 5 players running around the court. But I imagine they have specific places they have to be. But we'll definitely be checking that out. And I did learn a little bit more. I learned more about... Maybe it wasn't in depth as I was hoping. Maybe there's some specific videos you could let me know that I should be checking out to be a lot more in depth. Let me know down in the comments in this video or on my Instagram. And of course, while you're down in the comments, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.